designer clothes, the swearing, the whiskey. Khabib Nurmagomedov hated all of it. The grappling heavy fight style, the decision to not carry his country's flag as lazy manager. Conor McGregor hated all of that. It is the ultimate study of contrasts, a clash of lifestyles, combat styles and cultures. The martial Stoicism versus Machiavellianism. In this video we will study Conor's philosophy versus Khabib's, and by the end of it, decide which path we would choose ourselves. Chapter 0. Accomplishments. Over the last couple of years, there has been one man in the UFC who has changed the viability and mainstream appeal of the entire sport, the notorious Conor McGregor. An Irish professional mixed martial artist and professional boxer, he is a former UFC featherweight and lightweight champion, becoming the first UFC fighter to hold UFC championships in two weight classes simultaneously. He is the biggest pay-per-view draw in mixed martial arts history, having headlined the 5 highest pay-per-view events. McGregor was ranked as the world's highest paid athlete by Forbes in 2021, earning a reported $180 million. On the other hand, Khabib Nurmagomedov is a Russian former professional mixed martial artist who competed in the lightweight division of the UFC. Khabib would reach the pinnacle of MMA in 2018 when he became the UFC lightweight champion of the world, defeating Al Iaquinta. Khabib's stardom only rose from there, making 3 title defenses against the best in the world, with each performance surpassing the last. On the 24th of October 2020, Khabib could officially retire from the sport after defeating Justin Gaethje to retain the title. With 29 wins and no losses, he retired with an undefeated record. Magomedov is widely considered to be amongst the greatest MMA fighters of all time and was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame on June 30, 2022. To analyze a man's philosophy, one needs to look into the past. Conor, born and raised in Dublin, Ireland, started his journey in combat sports, with boxing at the age of 12 because he was getting bullied. In his years as a teenager, McGregor would work as a plumber's apprentice and absolutely hated his job. In an interview with The Guardian, McGregor even confessed his miserable stint as a plumber. It just wasn't for me. I was waking at 5 a.m. and walking in the dark, freezing cold until I reached the motorway and waited for a guy I didn't even know to take me to the site where I worked for 12 hours and then got driven back and walked home. I know there are passionate, skilled plumbers, but I had no love for plumbing. Conor had a decision to make, and the decision he did make, despite his parents' disapproval. He decided to move away from the profession in 2008 and followed his passion as a fighter full-time. His striking prowess led him to capture 2 titles at Cage Warriors, at featherweight and lightweight. Soon the UFC came, a place where he quickly rose to fame with his knockout power and charismatic personality. Looking into his past, it's important to note McGregor's hunger for wealth and power, things that would inevitably influence his lifestyle and later legacy. Despite the chaos Conor went through as a child, his obsession led him to succeeding very quickly in the UFC. On the other hand, Khabib hails from the rugged terrains of Dagestan, Russia. He was introduced to wrestling by his father at a very young age. His grappling skills and relentless pressure made him a formidable force in the MMA world. Growing up in a middle-class family background, young Nurmagomedov was an overly energetic kid coached by his father. Nurmagomedov recorded leaps and bounds in the sport and even wrestled with a bear when he was aged 9. He resumed training in combat sambo under his father at 17. Khabib used to frequently get into street fights in his youth before focusing his attention on MMA. In 2008, he made his debut, and by 2011, Khabib signed with the UFC. Khabib's disciplined, military-like childhood shaped the way he approached life, as we will later see. One could say that his childhood is the exact opposite of Conor's chaotic background, that of extreme order and discipline. That difference is evident in the way they live their lives. Chapter 2. The lifestyles. Conor, known for his flamboyant lifestyle, is often seen in designer clothes, enjoying whiskey and living life in the fast lane. His love for the finer things in life is evident in his public appearances and bizarre social media posts. Whether he's bragging about prize purses in the middle of the ring, driving cars that cost double the average mortgage, staying in homes that would could house a small army, or sporting wristwear available to only the most exclusive buyers, McGregor is always showing off his wealth. It's a subtle and almost Machiavellian way to get into the heads of his opponents. He's telling them, I'm not like you, I'm better than you, I wear better clothes, drive better cars, live in better homes, and have a better life than you do. If I have all that, then why wouldn't you believe I'm a better fighter than you? Contrastingly, Khabib leads a humble and disciplined life in the mountains. He is deeply rooted in his faith and community. His lifestyle is a reflection of his upbringing and the values instilled in him by his family and culture. When I searched on the internet, I found an article that perfectly describes his lifestyle, even before he was champion. The article was from 2014. In his own words, there are fighters in America who can drink on Friday and Saturday. After an event, I showed myself in the hotel. 80% of them are already drunk. Not the champs, but middle of the pack guys. Guys like 1 win, 2 losses. A couple of times they called me with them to the club. I told them I'm Muslim, and they were like, come on, we know 2 Muslims. They visit the clubs with us all the time. Alcohol and heroes stand in a way of an athlete. They spoil him and make him weak. These contrasting lifestyles not only shape their personas but also influence their approach to the sport in terms of combat style. Chapter 3. The combat styles. Conor, known for his striking prowess, has a style that is a blend of boxing and kickboxing. His left hand is considered one of the most powerful in the sport, and his timing and precision have led to many knockouts. One of the greatest weapons in UFC history, the Irishman's ability to sleep opponents with his Celtic cross made him a super dangerous guy on the feet. The likes of Marcus Brimage, Diego Brandão, Dustin Poirier and Jose Aldo were all blown away by the speed and accuracy of his left, the touch of death. No wonder his team is hypnotized. On the other side, Khabib's style is heavily influenced by his background in wrestling and judo. His grappling skills are unparalleled, and his ability to take down opponents and control them on the ground is a sight to behold. As he describes it, he has the ability to take you to the deepest ocean and drown you. These styles are a reflection of their personalities and philosophies. Conor's striking focused style mirrors his flamboyant and aggressive persona, while Khabib's grappling heavy approach aligns with his disciplined and relentless nature. Thus, the difference in philosophies can be finally understood. Now, let's delve deeper into the philosophies of both fighters. Conor McGregor embodies a Machiavellian approach to life and fighting. His philosophy is one of cunning strategy and manipulation. He uses his words as weapons, creating psychological warfare that begins long before he steps into the octagon. He believes in doing whatever it takes to win, even if it means bending the rules or pushing the boundaries of sportsmanship. On the other hand, Khabib, the Eagle Nurmagomedov, is a practitioner of Stoicism. His philosophy is one of self-control, discipline, and resilience. He believes in the power of will and the strength of character. The fight is not just physical, but also a test of mental fortitude. His strict demeanor in and out of the ring is a testament to his strong character and unwavering focus. Now, it is important to note that Khabib is a Muslim and lives Islam. He is not actively practicing Stoicism, which originates from ancient Greece, but is living Islam, which is essentially Stoic in nature, which is an important distinction to establish. It is extremely similar to the philosophy of memento mori, which is part of the reason I'm using Stoicism in this video. Finally analyzed their philosophies, let's revisit the iconic clash between Conor and Khabib, where these philosophies were put to the ultimate test. Chapter 5. The Clash. Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov faced off in the octagon. It was more than a fight, it was a clash of philosophies, a battle of wills. Conor, with his usual Machiavellian tactics, had already begun the fight outside the ring. His words were sharp, his insults personal. He aimed to get under Khabib's skin to throw him off his game, but Khabib, the stoic warrior, remained unfazed, focusing instead on the fight ahead. As the fight began, it was clear that their contrasting combat styles were a reflection of their philosophies. Conor, the striker, aimed to end the fight quickly with his powerful left hand. Khabib, the grappler, aimed to wear Conor down. to drain his energy, to break his will and his spirit. The fight was intense, brutal, and at times chaotic. But through it all, Khabib remained calm and composed, his philosophy evident in his approach. Conor, on the other hand, struggled to maintain his composure as the fight wore on. In the end, it was Khabib who emerged victorious, but the clash was far from over. The tension spilled over into a post-fight brawl, leading to suspensions for both fighters. This study of contrast serves as a reminder that in the world of MMA and in any endeavor, the fight is never just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's philosophical. Now, let me ask you, which path would you take? Think about you as a person and write your answers in the comments. If you liked my video, please remember to like, share and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video and have a nice day, my friend.